So today we're going to be going over the complete opposites of every award that was given out this year. Let's get straight into it. Alright, so like I said, let's start with the MVP and LVP. MVP went to Nikola Jokic. Least valuable player in the year this year was Kevin Love. Kevin Love had one of the worst attitudes in the locker room while having the worst contract in the league. This man signed a big ass extension after 2018, so he knew what he was getting himself into considering LeBron James was going to leave that team. However though, he still is very disgruntled for no reason. Kevin Love is not a superstar anymore. I don't know if he was ever a superstar. He was an all-star at one point, but right now he's just being a big negative, and that contract is really hurting. We saw him throw the ball away against the Raptors, and it was like an inbound play. Like, Kevin Love, what are you doing, bro? Are you okay? Like, are you tripping? So the rookie of the year this season was LaMelo Ball. The worst rookie of the year this season was Jalen Smith. Jalen Smith, I mean, he's just a victim of the moment, man. In this situation, he got picked a little bit higher than he should have, and the people after him did really well. Some people that got picked after him were like Devin Vassell, who showed really good production for the Spurs. Tyrese Halliburton, who showed amazing production for the Sacramento Kings. Isaiah Stewart, who looked like a rotational big man in Detroit. And Saddiq Bey, who was one of the best rookie shooters this year. But Jalen Smith averaged like 2 points a game and 1 rebound. The craziest thing about Jalen Smith is that the Suns can completely miss on their pick, and they still had the executive of the year in James Jones. They did a great job constructing this roster into a finals team this year. I don't know if they're going to win the finals, but Jalen Smith was the worst rookie of the year. So the defensive player of the year this season was Rudy Gobert. The liability of the year this season was the Portland Trail Blazers backcourt. Now, the Blazers backcourt was terrible, but why it was even worse, it is driving Damien Lillard out of Portland. Damien Lillard, after a USA scrimmage and a couple USA practice games against some different countries, he said that unless the Blazers make a big move to get an all-star this season, which they pretty much can't because they don't have assets like that, then he's going to be leaving. And shit, this backcourt was so bad defensively that they let Austin Rivers drop 20 points on them. You let Austin Rivers, somebody who was on his couch a couple months ago, drop 20 points on you? Hell nah, B. What the fuck? But look, their backcourt was so bad defensively this year that it is driving Damien Lillard out of Portland. Okay, the coach of the year this year was Tom Thibodeau. I actually like he got that award. I think he deserved it. But the spectator of the year, that's what we calling it, was Luke Walton. The Kings had the talent to be a play-in team, but didn't because of coaching. Luke Walton was that bad of a coach. You saw the development of Tyrese Halliburton becoming an amazing player in his rookie season, considering he was like the 11th pick. And probably the worst thing that can happen to the Kings is if you slow down their offense. The Kings are a very young team with a whole lot of speedy guards like Tyrese Halliburton, De'Aaron Fox. They have a whole lot of speedy players that can run all game long, yet he decides to slow down the offense and turn it into a half-court offense. Yeah, in the half-court, they're pretty bad. In transition though, they were elite that one year that they were running and gunning, and Luke Walton just slowed it down. Like, even in the last 40 games of De'Aaron Fox this season, he averaged 27 points, 7.7 assists, and 3.6 rebounds with 2 steals. Like, he was literally going off. And the team still wasn't winning games, and in fact was better without him this year. Imagine having the best player on your team being a net negative. Luke Walton is a dumbass. So Julius Randle won most improved player this year. I think it was deserving. But the least improved player this year was easily Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons offensively has not improved since his rookie season. He shot like 30% from the free throw line this playoff run, and shit, at some points was just unplayable in the playoffs. Ben Simmons was looked at a guy who has superstar potential. When drafting Ben Simmons, the 76ers wanted a superstar backcourt player to pair with a superstar big man in Joel Embiid, but it looks like the only superstar they're ever going to have is Joel Embiid. The 6th man of the year this season was Jordan Clarkson. Now, I thought it should have went to Joe Ingles, but the worst bench of the year this season was the Golden State Warriors. Stephen Curry was gassed every single game. Anytime Stephen Curry was off the floor, the Warriors were net negative by a wide margin. You saw them last year without Stephen Curry. They had like 15 wins last season. That shit was just straight embarrassing. But Stephen Curry this season had an all-time great season. For a point guard season, this was probably his second best season ever, and the second best point guard season ever. However, though, it didn't mean much because the bench came in and they shit the bed. Steph Curry would go out, drop 40, and, well, it did nothing because the bench couldn't keep him up. So the worst bench of the year was the Golden State Warriors. Damien Lillard this year won Teammate of the Year. The worst Teammate of the Year was when James Harden was on the Rockets. Now, I would have done Kevin Love, but we already put him in here, so we can't put him in again. James Harden on the Rockets this season was the LVP. He was going out to strip clubs. He was getting banned for some games. He just wasn't into it at all with the Houston Rockets organization. After one night of losing, when he said he's done as much as he can, I mean, he didn't even have a good night that night. So, I don't know. It's a very weird situation. And James Harden right now had an MVP level season in Brooklyn. But, you know, and I hope he comes back healthy. But that stint in Houston was terrible. He was the worst teammate of the year when he was in Houston. All right, y'all. So that is the video. Make sure to click on my last video where we talked about the most impressive players from the 2021 NBA playoffs.
Smoking on this tree, I eat with the cat. It be around me cause I don't trust a soul.